So picking up where we had left off yesterday, I was able to deploy the smart contract. Plus, I bought some ETH, so that way I shouldn't have any issues getting more test ETH. But I noticed something really weird when I was going to mint the NFT from the contract on the front end that I had built. It wasn't automatically showing up in the wallet. I was successfully minting and I could import the NFT, but I had to manually import the NFT instead of it automatically coming up like it had originally done with the ugly house contract that we had built. So I kind of wasted time, honestly, trying to figure it out because given I've already created the proper contract beforehand, proof of concept just requires showing somebody how it works. And I did have something there. Um, but nonetheless, it's a mistake to learn from. So we're gonna have to wait a little bit to, go over the stuff that we've been building. But that does give us time to be able to do some edits on the aesthetic. Obviously, we don't need to go crazy with it because our clients are going to have their own input for colors, layout, et cetera, et cetera. But we can do some improvements that can help as far as just overall aesthetic and feel for the prototype that we would be showing to prove the concept. So, nonetheless, I did buy, just before recording this video, I was able to mint an NFT and it show up automatically, but I didn't change anything. So I'm honestly not sure exactly why. I had asked ChatGPT and it said that this happens and it's not an error necessarily, but this just sometimes does happen with contracts with MetaMask. So nonetheless, we did finish the minting page and now we have an operational front end. Now it's just about making it look good. But, you know, as far as building these contracts, the cool thing is the front end that we had created yesterday, as long as gas fees weren't bad, we called it early, but we could have finished building the entire front end within 4 hours, front end and the smart contract. And so the nice thing is because code is duplicatable, this is a process that after getting everything set up, I mean, we really just have to go into client acquisition mode. And at that point, we can just create project on project. Now, obviously, the marketing aspect is going to be the next skill to really get down because we're going to need to figure out, once we partner up with these people, how are we going to raise the money? And uh, I've already elaborated a bit on my ideas for working with the door-to-door groups, but I don't want to hinge directly on one idea because while I do think it's a smart plan, I wasn't some crazy top performer when I was doing Vivint. I was like very average for rookie, didn't make any crazy noise or money my first year. And my second year, I left just due to differences in leadership and the team that I was with. And so, now I'm gonna have to figure out, okay, like, I mean, I'm not hinging on Vivint necessarily because, like I said, I do have a couple buddies who have done well in the solar industry and have connections to people who run businesses specifically managing door-to-door groups within that space. But additionally, I I don't know. I mean, I've never liked banking on one idea. So I definitely need to make sure that I've given myself the opportunity to go out to the Vivint office and be able to pitch the idea. And the goal is honestly going to just be to make a list of managers because they're going to be the people who are buying these projects anyways. People with a lot of money, people who could spend 3,500 bucks and not blink. And so I'll yeah, as I'm talking about this, I'm making more connections, but I just need to build a list of managers and I need to go out of my way to meet as many of the managers as possible, not really caring about necessarily the training or, the networking with other reps environment, but specifically targeting big players who have pull in each of the companies. So that's kind of where we're at for right now. I'm disappointed because I did want to be able to show my friends the front end that I built today, but this does give me the opportunity now where I can work on the loan collateral contract and get the front end finished for that. Just given that was something that I wanted to have done by December anyways. So we'll have a few days to work specifically on I mean, the contract is like I would say like 70, 80% done. But when it comes to the loans itself, the loan needs to be tracked in USD because imagine if you borrowed $100 now and then Ethereum like triples in value over the next year, and then you're supposed to pay your balloon the next year, but you're only paying in Ethereum, the person who's supposed to be getting paid back would only be receiving $33. And obviously, that's not what we want to do. So I do need to get that feature implemented to make sure that it's tracked in USD. But after that, then it's just about building the front end. It doesn't need to be crazy aesthetic. That's probably just going to be one of the hallmark traits because Leon Abode talked about this, how companies who do well, within a certain industry, there's going to be certain standards, and some standards will be ignored, some standards will be prioritized, and for a lot of the key players, they introduce something completely new. So the completely new aspect is going to be the fund distribution for the NFTs, and then for the loan collateral, it's obviously going to be able to leverage the NFTs as collateral for loans that may already be out, but there's not. It's not like the space is huge yet. And we're capitalists. And when it comes to capitalism, competition breeds competency. So, if there's more people in a space than just one key player, it's going to push both players to do better, to improve, and ultimately to provide the greatest experience possible for their users. So, I gotta say, like, I don't know. Today was definitely my fault for not getting up earlier because, had I gotten up earlier, I could have figured out this stuff with the contract and the minting process earlier. I could have pulled up to my friends. Then I could have gone to the Vivint office tonight, start networking with different, what's it called? Just different managers, but I didn't. And the reason is still sleep. Like it comes back to those habits. And like I talked about, the habits, the more important habits to build are going to be obviously the ones that are leading you towards your goal. So for us, spending time using ChatGPT, spending time coding, waking up isn't directly involved in our success, but it does play a key part just given, being able to manage our time efficiently and effectively is going to be crucial for being a, successful entrepreneur and business owner. So I need to get this shit locked in. And the nice thing is now is we do have the income to be able to supplement food when needed, but I don't even honestly remember the last time I ate like a true meal. I got Chipotle last night, which I didn't even finish the bowl, trying to finish the stuff I was building. But other than that, I had pizza and then I ate like snacks for like 3 or 4 fucking days. And word of advice for people who struggle with sleep, falling asleep, melatonin is created by your stomach. Okay? When you're not eating properly, that's going to affect different organs in your body that produce different hormones that regulate different processes. And eating just so happens to be connected with your sleep. So, it's going to be essential that we get back on our diet. And I mean, my health has just declined too. My hair is thin, my hair's receded, my muscles have gone down. So we were in a tough environment over the last few months, but we do need to make sure that we're paying attention to our health and prioritizing it to make sure that we're, just maximizing our productivity and our effectiveness when we're working. So I think that's good for today. I'm still in the process of getting a hard drive to back up my computer. So, want to make sure that we're not going over our limit, but we're going to be getting work on the lending contract, obviously improving the aesthetic on the front end that we had just built. But with that being said, we do have our work cut out for us, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.